Welcome back to Prime Edition. Now, on to our favorite news segment for Monday. Few figures have shaped Kenya's political journey, quite like Raila Odinga, a man of immense charisma, courage, and conviction. Hailed by many as Baba, the father of modern democracy, he dedicated his life to the struggle for freedom, justice, and unity. Tonight, we look back at the extraordinary life and enduring legacy of a man whose name became synonymous with Kenya's long and often turbulent road to democracy.
Raila Amolo Odinga was born on January 7, 1945 in Maseno, Kisumu district, to Mary Juma Odinga and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. His father served as the first vice president of Kenya under President Jomo Kenyatta. He studied in East Germany, graduating from the Technical University of Marburg with a degree of mechanical engineering before joining the University of Nairobi as a lecturer and later serving at the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Odinga's route to the cabinet and beyond began when he joined elective politics following the reintroduction of multi-party democracy in 1992. He was a central figure in the clamor for the return of multi-party politics, dubbed Kenya's second liberation. Between 1982 and 1988, Raila Odinga was jailed for treason. He was again detained in July 1990 alongside Kenneth Matiba and Charles Rubier for calling for the return of multi-party politics. After his release in June 1991, fearing for his life, he fled to Norway. In February 1992, he returned home and joined the Forum for Restoration of Democracy, led by his father Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. When Ford later split into Ford Kenya under Jaramogi and Ford Asili under Matiba, Raila became Ford Kenya's Deputy Director of Elections. That same year, he was elected Member of Parliament for Lang'ata constituency in Nairobi, a seat he would retain in subsequent elections in 1997, 2002 and 2007. In his first presidential attempt in 1997, Raila Odinga finished third after President Daniel Moi and Democratic Party candidate Mwai Kibaki. In March 2002, his National Development Party merged with KANU to form the new KANU, a union sealed when Moi appointed Raila and other NDP leaders to cabinet posts. Odinga became Minister for Energy in June 2001. However, in October 2002, he resigned, taking with him his NDP brigade and several KANU stalwarts, including Kalonzo Musyoka, Joseph Kamotho, and Saitoti. The group formed the Rainbow Movement, which later merged with Mwai Kibaki's National Alliance Party of Kenya to form the National Rainbow Coalition, NAC. In a moment, that would change Kenya's political destiny. Odinga stood before a charged crowd and declared Kibaki Tosha, endorsing Mwai Kibaki as the opposition's presidential candidate. His rallying call united the opposition and ended the era of KANU dominance. Odinga campaigned tirelessly for Kibaki, especially after a car accident left the presidential hopeful hospitalized. His efforts helped deliver a resounding victory, with Kibaki winning 67% of the total vote. A pre-election memorandum of understanding between Kibaki's NAC and Odinga's Liberal Democratic Party was said to have promised Raila the post of Prime Minister and LDP half of the cabinet positions. However, that promise was never fulfilled. The perceived betrayal led to the tensions within government, culminating in an open rift between President Kibaki and Odinga. A key point of contention was the proposed new constitution, which Odinga opposed, arguing that it consolidated presidential powers. He led the No campaign against the draft constitution in the 2005 referendum, defeating the government side with 57% of the vote. President Kibaki resigned by dissolving the cabinet on November 23, 2005. When President Kibaki reconstituted his cabinet, Raila and his LDP allies were excluded. He responded by forming the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, which became a formidable political force. By August 2007, ODM had split into two factions, Odinga leading ODM and Kalonzo Musyoka leading ODM Kenya. At ODM's National Delegates Conference in September 2007, held at the Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani, Odinga won the presidential nomination with 2,656 votes ahead of Musalia Mudavadi and William Ruto. Mudavadi was named his running mate. The December 2007 elections ended in controversy when the Electoral Commission declared Kibaki the winner by a margin of about 232,000 votes. ODM rejected the results, sparking weeks of violence that claimed over 1,300 lives and displaced more than 250,000 people. The crisis drew international attention, and under the mediation of former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, a power-sharing deal was reached, creating a coalition government. Raila Odinga became Kenya's second Prime Minister, the first being Jomo Kenyatta. Later, his relationship with then Agriculture Minister William Ruto and other Kalenjin leaders deteriorated over the International Criminal Court investigation into the 2007-2008 post-election violence. In 2013, under Kenya's new constitution, Odinga again contested the presidency, this time under the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy, uniting his ODM with Kalonzo Musyoka's Wiper and Wetangula's Ford Kenya with Kalonzo Musyoka as his running mate. His opponents, Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, faced ICC charges but were nonetheless nominated by the Jubilee coalition. In the March 4, 2013 election, Kenyatta garnered 6,173,433 votes to Odinga's 5,340,546 votes. Odinga challenged the results in the Supreme Court, citing massive failures of the biometric voter registration kits. However, Chief Justice William Mutunga dismissed additional evidence filed late, and the court upheld Kenyatta's victory on March 30, 2013. Kenyatta's inauguration on 9 April 2013 marked the end of Odinga's tenure as Prime Minister. On April 27, 2017, Odinga was endorsed by the National Super Alliance to contest the presidency once more, with Musyoka again as his running mate. When the August 8, 2017 election results declared Kenyatta the winner with 54% of the vote against Odinga 43%, Odinga petitioned the Supreme Court. In a historic ruling, Chief Justice David Maraga annulled the results, citing irregularities and illegalities. However, Odinga withdrew from the repeat election scheduled for October 26th, citing lack of reforms at the IEBC. Kenyatta won the rerun, and tensions remained high as Odinga symbolically saw himself in as the people's president at Uhuru Park, an act that led to the deportation of his ally Miguna Miguna. Then came the unexpected truce. On March 9, 2018, Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta emerged from Harambee House and announced the Handshake, a peace pact that redefined Kenya's political landscape. Odinga was later appointed the African Union Commission's High Representative for Infrastructure Development. His collaboration with Uhuru deepened through the Azimio la Umoja coalition, with the former president endorsing him as the coalition's presidential flag bearer in 2022. In May 2022, Odinga named Martha Karua as his running mate, the first woman ever to hold that position in a major Kenyan political alliance. Despite a spirited campaign, he lost the August 9, 2022 election to William Ruto. Subsequently, he worked with President Ruto in a broad-based government that included several of his longtime allies. In 2025, he made a bid for the chairperson of the African Union Commission. Despite strong regional support, he lost to Djibouti's Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. On Wednesday, October 15, 2025, he passed away while receiving medical treatment in India. Throughout his illustrious political career, Raila Odinga was known by many affectionate nicknames: Baba the Father, Agwambo the Act of God, Nyundo the Hammer, Tinga the Tractor, symbol of his former NDP party, and Mtu wa Vitendawili, the Man of Riddles. He leaves behind a legacy etched in Kenya's political history, one defined by resilience, sacrifice, and an unrelenting quest for justice, equality, and unity for all. He was widely regarded as a master strategist and mass mobilizer, a leader capable of drawing immense crowds to his rallies and connecting deeply with the ordinary citizen. Raila Amolo Odinga will be remembered for his unwavering fight for democratic freedoms, human rights, and political inclusion. Jackie Wambiro, The Cabinet.